Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for.
I don't think they're gonna find them again. I'm so sorry, I'm standing on that person's head. Is that person gonna be alive and talkable? Nope, they're pretty dead too. Okay, so I can head out there for my next objective. Oh shit, court approval's still going down. That's annoying. Okay, we'll move fast. Quick search around for anything that I can use. What's perking up on the map? There's something perking up on the map, but I can't see where it is. There's one over here too, but there's one on the other side of the room that I can't seem to find. Oh, it's up in the... It's like up on the ceiling? What the hell? It's a statuette. How in the hell do I get to that? Oh, now you're just being cheeky about this, aren't you? Okay, fine. Huh. Oh, god damn it. Don't fall so much. I need court approval. There we go. This isn't gonna work, is it? Oh god. Okay, better position. Oh, here, this looks kind of staircasey. Oh, god damn it. Let's do a smaller character. Not because it's necessarily going to platform any better, but it'll give me a better idea of where my hitbox is when I'm standing. Is it possible to get up there? What the hell? Is there like a way to like... I'm not sure what to do here. I don't think I can physically jump up there, necessarily. Nothing's close enough. Why did they put... did they really put platform... Oh, here we go. This is better. Oh, god damn it. Why did they try to... Did they really try to put platforming in this game? Is that really like a goal they had to achieve? Okay, now... Okay. This is my life now. Why? Why would you do this, BioWare? You could have... You definitely knew that that platforming was not the strength of this game. Oh god. Like, people were just gonna see that, and then they were gonna be, like, awkwardly glitching around their hitboxes trying to move around in this room. Like, this is just... Nothing about this is necessarily an ideal experience for anyone involved. Winter Palace, the Servants' Wing. During her reign's 5th year, Empress Celine substantially expanded the palace's servants' living quarters. They now encompass a large stretch of garden which the landscape architect Treachery designed. It is considered one of the finest examples of his style in Orlais. Excerpt from Architectural History of Orlais, Volume 1, by Elodie for now. Please don't fall, Solus. No. Okay. That was awkward, because that's when someone would hit X to probably jump, and they put a book there, which kind of causes a problem. Alright, Hala Statuette. 2 out of 10. That wasn't awkward. Okay. What's in this next chamber? Battered journal, that's probably helpful too. Gotta move fast. Diary of a nosy servant. Since I took that box up to the Grand Apartment, 9 people have subtly tried to ask me where the vault is, including a couple of chevaliers, the 5th ungardener, and one of the Grand Duchess's footmen. I'm not mad enough to tell. We're surrounded by a lot of dead people, which I'm now walking on top of. Ha ha ha. What can we find? Gotta move fast for the court approval. Although, I wonder... I would do it off camera if it's the case, but I think you might be able to just wander around randomly and just be able to just magically pick up enough, just be magically capable of picking up enough equipment. I have gotten a request to not play with Vivian anymore, which I get to some extent. It's really mixed. I get really mixed feedback from everyone. Some people are like, look at this exploit, look, you can dupe items, look how crazy that is, and other people are like, stop playing with Vivian. Oh, another statuette, coolio. So some people say don't play with this completely legitimate part of the game that is totally part of the game because it's so slightly overpowered in my opinion, and other people are like, you should break the game to get more resources.
This was no servant. What was he doing here?
This man was a Council of Herald's emissary. Curious to find him here.
That would appear to be Grand Duke Gaspard's insignia on the dagger. How curious.
Time to have a word with the Duke.
No! No!
Ah.
Predatory agents!
They look fucking crazy, don't they? So, obvious concern here is, turn down my TV volume now that we're actually fighting. Okay. So obviously you're like, oh, that's Gaspard's dagger, that's suspicious, but at the same time you would think, why would Gaspard just stab someone with a dagger that has his insignia on it, or have one of his people do that, and then just leave it on the body and leave? Unless that person also met an untimely end.
This approach. They're organized.
But I think it's reasonable to think that, hey, oh look, you can see Cole's generating guard at a decent rate too down there. So that's good. It's good to know that that works. I was concerned at first that it might not work on him because they might have locked guard to being only something for warriors, so I was taking a bit of a leap of faith there. There's a lot of different directions I can walk in here. We'll check the star real quick. What's this loot spot? 100 gold. Looks like a dead end. I want to be thorough because there could be stuff everywhere, but at the same time there's also a time limit they kind of punish me with. And there, as if to punctuate that sentence, I lost another approval point. The court is just the worst. I have no sympathies for these people. Okay. Taking a quick look around for... Oh, hello, Venatori. You're on fire now. Whoopsie, did I get the drop on you? Enjoy that. Okay. Just gonna wail on them a bit. I know someone said that I'm overpowered playing as Enchanter. I might be overpowered just for being thorough, though, because I'm higher level than so many things in this game at this point. No, I made no specific attempt to do that either. I wasn't trying to grind, but at the same time, I didn't want to constantly just abandon every single quest chain midway through and go into different areas. This game almost seems to punish people for being thorough. Kind of a bummer. We've talked about that before, though, the idea that, like, hey, maybe this game should have more balancing. What was that back there? Oh, it's more loot. Oh, is it worth running back for? I'm losing more court approval. The bummer here is that there could be secrets all over the place, including statuettes and stuff like that. But I'm also being punished for searching by the time element. We have enemies around. Ooh, read. The Compendium of Religion Theater. Calistaga places the battlement over the lake. The sky is dark. She holds a cup of poison. Kamala is there, face veiled. Callista. The dawn is late. Kamala. It will not come again. I must hide neath the clouds. It will not come again. The queen thinks you dead. Kamala, her back to the audience, faces Callista and removes her veil. Callista moans in fear. She drops her cup. From the Setting of the Light by Lumiere Bartlett. These lines are from a play said to have been one of the strangest works from its time. Bartlett was a writer of small repute who died when a fire swept through his pauper's hovel. The Setting of the Light takes place in the mysterious city of Demi, implied to be another world that somehow becomes one of our moon. Accidents, madness, and suicide plagued the first production, and some historians claim that the play's conclusion was at once so hauntingly beautiful and shockingly vile that it sparked the Great Riot of Val Royale in 452 Black. The truth will forever be a mystery. Only 14 pages of the play remain. From a Compendium of Religion Theater, Volume 5, Lost and Fragmented Works by Master Pellingar. When I think of the idea of a plagued or even cursed production, I actually kind of think of the they have a Broadway play for the movie for Spider-Man. It's called Spider-Man something, I don't know, something in the dark, I think, and it's known for just being this production where just things consistently go wrong, and this is a real life thing. Things keep going wrong. People keep getting injured. They have all these Cirque du Soleil style maneuvers and things like that. And because it's Spider-Man, of course, and people just keep getting really fucked up as a result. It's not actually, doesn't seem to be working out very well. Sorry if I'm having trouble reading today in particular. It's pretty late right now. I'm trying to sneak in a recording when I have an opportunity. Jashavis, the mother of Orlais. It is said we owe much to the sons of betrayal. Three brothers were charged with girding against the Imperium in weight, and in mourning Andraste, we tribes of Crescent willingly bartered diversity for solidarity. Tevinter would not be defeated in Our Lady's lifetime, but would be balanced against our lifetimes to come. While a son of betrayal named the fields Orlais, it was Jashavis, his wife, who shaped what we are. Her hatreds were older, bound to tradition. All our hatreds were abandoned so we could call strangers kin and stand as one against the Imperium. Greater her spite for how necessary the cost, because she knew we had a choice in that day, or no choice in the next. She brought the marriage that wed tribe within tribe, but promised an untold vengeance of her own. If we stand against outsiders, we stand for ourselves. She would not suffer the rule of Alamari, son or no son of betrayal or prophet. Jashavas plied brother against brother in churn, then named brother as partners in crimes against faith. With artful turn, she invited invasion, then crafted rebellion against the courts she inspired. Brother would kill brother and be killed in turn, two liberators that she would then own. 8 generations before the Empire, before Drakon, here were the seeds of elegance to come. Jashavis twice married the sons of betrayal, twice widowed, our first chieftain born from us, of that what would become true or lay, where we venerate faith and the beauty of sacrifice, that with daggers well hidden but well within reach. It is true, we owe much of the sons of betrayal, for they were the tools that a master cast down. Let others claim credit for birthing the nation. Jashavas claims nothing and gave us the game. This text was translated from Oyer Gioa Javas, a highly romanticized account of the first Gilja. I'm not even going to try again. Our female chieftain of the unified Syrian tribes of Orlais. The region and people would later coalesce under Drakon into the modern nations of Orlais. Many culturally distinct communities were forcibly merged during the rule of Mafarath and his sons, ostensibly to create more efficient barriers against the likelihood of a Tevinter return to conquest. The effects of this relocation can still be observed in many Orlesian, Navaran, and Free Marcher traditions, collected and inserted from Philium, a bard. I am not even in the least bit shocked by the premise that the history of Orlais may be steeped in betrayal and murder and have an incredibly complicated, bizarre history. Oh, it looks like I just bubbled myself right after Solus spent his bubble on me too. That has a nasty tendency to happen. I wish I could specifically tell Solus, hey, bubble Vasti at the beginning of every fight. Like, you know, that's beating a dead horse at some point, but it's just all on my thing of like, why can't every game have the AI programming that the first game had? It feels weird that they had an amazing feature in the first game that was really uncommon in games, especially at the time, and then they just kind of dropped it when it was like one of the most touted and favored features in the game, and it worked pretty well. It's kind of a bummer you can't just program your characters to do basic actions with automation. I clicked on that thing, but nothing happened. Oh well. Codex unlocked, the Lion of Orlais. Maybe I can find that. Oh hey, I actually found a codex entry about the Orlesian Caprice coins, the coins that I'm actually throwing into that pond to gain favor. Victory in the grand game is not merely determined by what one has at one's command, one's connections and one's machinations, but what one is willing to give up. The clearest example is the Caprice. Each coin is traditionally a gift. They were once tokens of regard, favors for chevaliers, from their lovers to patrons. Throwing them into the fountain was rooted in superstition. The token was offered as a sacrifice, a bribe to Andraste to keep the chevalier safe in the battlefield. The more one had to offer the waters, the better one's chances of escaping the caprice of fate. Hence the name. Oh, over time the superstitious aspect of the custom faded. Now the caprice is a mark of status. The more coins one has, the more public the spectacle of throwing them away, the stronger one's position in the game. From the Dowager's Field Guide to the Good Society by Lady Alcloin. So it's a Achion? I'll say Lady Alchion. Okay, there we go. So it's a display of expense, of excessiveness. Look how rich I am. I'm so rich I can throw all this money away. It's decadence and it's just fairly disgusting. Alright, here's the codex entry I just found. The Lion of Orlais. As to your question regarding why a lion is considered the symbol of Orlais, particularly when a lion is a creature native only to Eastern Thedas, the answer is quite simple. It adorns the crest of the Valmonts, the family that has ruled the Empire since the end of the Exalted Age, and in truth it is the Valmonts which have come to represent Orlais. Before them, the Orlesian symbol was that of the descendants of Cordelis Drakon, a dragon. As to why the lion adorns their crest, that dates back to the time of Lambert Valmont, a young captain of Orlais who distinguished himself at the Battle of Ayeshle. Ayeshle, yeah, I want to say Ayeshle, just to go with that. The great and infamous battle that ended the Fourth Blight. It is said that young Valmont disregarded orders during the battle, taking his forces to relieve the beleaguered Antivans and saving them from absolute destruction. Though his superiors were at first chagrined, chalking up the captain's actions to an infatuation with a certain Antivan camp follower, this incidentally has never been confirmed. It later came to light that the Antivan force had been led by King Azar Adalberto Campana himself. In the political realignment following the Blight's end, Antiva was an important ally to the Orlais. Lambert Valmont was an Antivan hero. He was given the hand of one of King Azar's daughters in marriage and elevated to noble rank, with a valiant lion to adorn his newly created heraldry. The Orlesian emperor was forced to respond in kind, granting Valmont a marquisate. Imagine, if you will, the hero returning to Val Royale from the Blight, sporting a wife with royal blood and the honors of 2 nations. This is why jealous nobles called him the Swaggering Lion, a nickname he embraced. It was Lambert Valmont's son, Alphonse, who later led to the civil war against the usurper, Xavier Dracon. He killed Xavier in single combat, giving rise to the great Orlesian legend of the lion slaying the dragon, putting an end to Dracon dynasty as he assumed the throne, changing the Orlesian symbol forever. From a letter by Brother Genitivi to Prince Kylan, Theron, 920 Dragon. Interesting, almost an interesting parallel there between this and, let's see, I'm trying to think of, like, this and Game of Thrones. Like, you could call Jaime Lannister the Kingslayer. You could almost call him the Swaggering Lion, because he did some grand action that was against his oaths, against his duties. He was acting on his own impulse, and something that saved a lot of people's lives. And he's known for being this kind of awful cocksure type. And the Lannister family mascot or emblem or whatever it's a lion, a golden lion, much like Orlais itself. Interestingly enough, their family also makes attempts to kill members of the Targaryen family who are dragons. Alright, so back to it. So I need to continue to go. I probably should just make my way for the quest objective, because we are at risk of running out of losing more and more. Yep, there goes me losing more favor. At some point, I can only be so thorough when pressed with a time limit, right? But who knows what kind of failure I may be for missing certain things around here. What's lighting up for me right now? Oh, supply cache. For all those potions I've used so far. We need to find the Harlequin. It's supposed to be in here? Ish? What's over here? I may have gone the wrong way. We're going to have to probably backtrack a little bit. This loot's probably not very good for me. The good news, though, is that I have extra inventory space now, so it's not going to bother me to grab a couple things. And I think my number one user of potions, Cole, seems to be doing just fine with the fact that he has some armor generation. Alright, so if we head up here, we should find something, I believe. Oh, we're on our way, that's for sure. This is a very large area that's completely corded off. Hello, friends. Would you like to be on fire? I knew you'd love it. Now you're slow, so enjoy that too. Well, that worked out brilliantly for me. And of course, that was the one time I don't bubble myself is the one time that Solus doesn't do it either. So I need to take it. So I'm the one undefended person taking damage. Go figure. That's what I get for making an assumption that he might do it this time, because he kept doing it every other time. If you look at Cole's health bar, he's getting quite a bit of extra guard. Very good. Getting a little loot. Any important things? Message fragment. Keeping out for anything that could be useful around here. This may not be it. I think I might have to go further in to find what I'm looking for. Maybe it might just be behind that door too. Winter Palace, the Grand Apartments. This wing once served as a home away from home for members of House of Valmont, House Valmont's 4 cadet branches, but has fallen into disuse since Emperor Florin's reign. The late emperor would not allow relatives more distant than his siblings into the Winter Palace for years. The entirety of the Grand Apartments was closed off. Excerpt from Architectural History of Orlais, Volume 1 by Elodie Fenot. Alright, let's head through this door and see if it gets us closer to the Harlequin. Oh, I need more Howlet statuettes to get through here. I need 3. Okay, that's not good. It must not be required for the quest at hand, though, then. It must be an optional thing I can unlock otherwise. I guess I could probably go through this whole area freely, even when I'm not in the middle of this particular exploration bit. But, I would be at further penalty. Hello, friends. You're on fire. And self-bubble. Hello, friends. I would like to party. And I'm targeting the wrong guy. That's fine. Slow mode. How do you guys feel about that, huh? Like being in slow motion? They're going to be in trouble. As a general rule, everyone's going to make a big old mess of this area. I'll add to the stack, though. More fire. Man. The sheer number of having one good archer, having one good archer, one good tank, and then just 2 characters that are good at spamming damage around the area. Very effective.
Fancy meeting you here. Shouldn't you be dancing, Inquisitor? What will the nobility say?
No doubt there's a line of people breathlessly waiting for dances with me.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing his dirty work. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
It's interesting because I don't know if I wasn't sure at first whether or not to call him out because I was like, well, the dagger with his insignia just seems too obvious, and in so many forms of fiction, that's a type of framing people. That said, the person who called that out, I think, was Vivian. So she's someone who's particularly in the know, where the rest of my party wouldn't notice. But then even then, I guess, in a world full of Orlesians, I guess everyone around here would probably pick it up just as fast as Vivian, so it is obvious regardless, I think. It's just not necessarily as obvious to my party. But I don't know what to think here. Obviously someone's up to no good, but I don't know if it's necessarily Gaspard or people trying to make it look like it's him just to make us go after each other.
Are you sure he's behind this? He was too easygoing for a man plotting treason.
Don't let his charm blind you. He's Orlesian. That smile is his mask. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
You know how to make a sales pitch, Ambassador, I'll give you that.
I do, don't I? I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
I feel like the camera angle wasn't supposed to be at such an awkward angle, but it was because I'm so tall. So it looks like the 3 characters I have that I could potentially side with here are essentially, it's like having Liliana, Cullen, and Josephine. Obviously, Celine would be Josephine. Our elf friend, Briala, would be Liliana as the spy master. And Gaspard would be Cullen as the person who solves all their problems by sending troops in and fighting and everything like that. That's where, where Josephine's the political type, the current, and she does peaceful solutions to everything, even when her life is threatened, as we've established recently. And similarly, Celine is a diplomat at all costs, and then Liliana is, of course, the spy. Oh wow, just leveled up Vivian by picking this up. Mad Emperor Reville. Modern history often forgets that Mad Emperor Reville was, at first, celebrated as a military genius. Despite the warnings of his twin brother, Gratian, younger by a mere hour, he committed Orlais to an invasion of Ferelden, an invasion that proved wildly successful. In the breadth of one campaign, Reville had expanded the reach of the Empire across all of southern Thedas and allowed the court to dream of achieving even greater heights. The history came at a cost, however, and when Gratian's prediction of war with an opportunistic Navarran proved true, the Orlesian Chevaliers met spectacular defeat. Everything we know of history states that Grand Duke Gratian had nothing to do with his brother's best interests at heart. The man was a kind soul, much in love with his wife and many children, and according to all letters recovered, vastly relieved not to be burdened with the throne. Revile, however, went from reveling in the approval of his court to being the butt of jokes and the target of whispers. He was surrounded by courtiers who said his brother was behind the criticism, and as rebellion in occupied Ferelden began, things only grew worse. There was an open talk of placing Gratian on the throne. When Marquis Yvette, Revile's mother, and a calming influence, died and threw him into mourning, he snapped. Revile ordered the assassination of Gratian and his entire family at the estate of Sablecent on the Feast of the Ascension. Gratian, his wife, their 3 grown children, and 8 grandchildren, the youngest Camille, only 8 months old, all slaughtered and thrown into a mass grave, their bodies burned. The brutal slaughter sent a chill through the imperial court, as even the emperor's own children feared to speak out against him. He became increasingly paranoid and began wearing armor every time he left his rooms. His health began to decline, but he refused to allow physicians of any kind into the palace. By 850 Blessed, Revile refused to leave his rooms at all. His paranoia had grown so great that only a single cook was permitted to prepare his food, and only under the superstition of 10 chevaliers. He no longer ate anything but venison, and his health, unsurprisingly, was poor. In 851 Blessed, Emperor Revile finally died, and upon entering his rooms, his sons found that he had boarded up the windows and surrounded his bed with rows upon rows of daggers. From the Emperors of Orlais by Harlan Ascari. That's interesting there. Whenever we have someone behaving in such a way in this universe, it usually means that he was in some way influenced by demons, because that's just, especially if you talk about Dragon Age Origins, it's every time anyone behaved differently at all, it was demons. By the way, if anyone wants a sequel to that kind of storytelling, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, I believe it's called. I don't know if it was the Wrath. It was something of the White Witch anyway. It's like a little Miyazaki style Japanese RPG on the PlayStation 3, and that's a game that game's just like Dragon Age Origins in the way that, like, everywhere you go, someone's being influenced by a demon. They're acting weird. Woo! Except in that game's cases, people's emotions are being stolen from them. But you know, the result is pretty similar. This person's not themselves. How do we fix that? Well, we either somehow excise the demon or straight up murder that fool. I'm gonna say BioWare loses a point here on writing just for having the Mad Emperor Revile and his good brother Gratian, who had only had the best at heart for his brother. It's like, really, these characters are literally named like Reviled and Gracious, basically, like positive and negative names just built into their name. That's pretty on the nose, BioWare. Or whatever specific writer wrote that one thing, because of course a ton of people have their hands on everything at this company. Do I want to go this way or the other way? I don't know, man. I'm just gonna keep going. I could have gone the other direction too. I think they were just both pointing me in the vague direction of how to get out of here, though. Probably gonna want to just hightail it out of here as fast as possible to progress before I lose even more approval, because it is going down. I think we've lost about 12 so far, because I think we had 51-ish when I came in here, and I'm down to 39. Who's that?
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Oh, just someone who is here to talk. And it straight up and just acknowledges me. Oh, Elfruit. I thought it might be something better than that, but nope. Just oh, cool. I got 9 at least. But yeah, that's just. Oh yeah, there's just a handful of agents here. I guess they were here with Briala. That makes sense.